So this is my projectile motion apparatus. You might call it an air cannon, but I think projectile motion apparatus sounds a little bit more scientific. What we've got essentially is an air chamber here. That's made out of 40mm high pressure PVC pipe with a cap and some coupling and things on the end of it. At the end here we've got a car tyre valve, so I can use my bike pump to pump up the air chamber to a certain PSI using the gauge here to tell me how much pressure I'm going to put into the chamber. At this end we've got some couplings, so this coupling here takes the 40mm down to 25mm, down to 25mm, around the corner, down to 15mm, and this bit here is a ball valve. So at the moment that's open, but if I twisted that 90 degrees, that would seal the air chamber so that I could pump up the air chamber to the desired pressure. And when I open it, it's in the open position at the moment, when you open it, it releases the air through the barrel, which if we've got a projectile in the barrel there, it'll fire the projectile. So I've got different size barrels here. That piece barrel there is about 600 mils long, that's about 1 metre. That one's about 300 mils, that's about 120 mils. You can see here I've also got different size projectiles. So those projectiles are simply 13mm pine dowel with a little bit of microfiber cloth sort of nailed into the back there. The idea of the cloth is that creates a nice seal inside the barrel so that the air pushes the projectile out nice and quickly. Also, while the projectile's in the air, that ensures the centre of pressure of the projectile is well behind the centre of gravity of the projectile, which gives you a straighter flight. So let's have a look and see how it works. Okay. Just close the valve. Just going to pump it up to 20 psi. Okay, let's draw it on 20. Different length barrels, but this one will do for now. Put the little projectile in there. Like so. And open it up. So that was about 20 psi I had, and that was, I forget which barrel it was, but one of the medium sort of barrels. And you can see that worked quite well. So I wouldn't take the pressure any higher than perhaps 30 psi. That would be plenty. But from a science perspective, you can see there's a whole bunch of things we could vary there. We could vary the pressure in the air chamber and see how that affects flight. We could vary the length of the barrel, see how that affects flight, and there's some good physics we could do there around the relationship between pressure and force and the amount of or the distance that the force is applied. We could then look at the mass or the size of the projectiles and change those, and of course the angle of the barrel, angle to the horizontal as the projectile is fired. So there's a whole bunch of things we could do there. Even the other thing we could do, which I haven't worked on yet, is perhaps build a ballistics pendulum and use conservation of momentum and conservation of energy, which we'll be doing later in the term, to calculate the muzzle velocity of the projectile. So plenty of application there, plenty of science there to be enjoyed.